circular pattern at the moment. This is known as the lower spiral, and the spiral is one of the methods used to gain height in a confined area. Coming up on the right hand side, one of our mini clay pits. It's a little overgrown with moss at the moment, so it hasn't been used in a while. But that's where clay is dug directly from the ground, taken back to the pottery for processing into bricks or earthenware ceramics. Glancing down to the left, you'll see the height gain from that spiral technique. We'll be climbing approximately 100 vertical metres to arrive at the tower at the top. Well, the man who built this railway, Barry Brickell, has named this area Ravington, and that's because of the many raves or parties he used to hold here on a regular basis during the construction period. Barry began laying the rail from the station back in 1975, and it took them 7 years to arrive here. So this was the end of the line back in 1986. Now this manoeuvre that we've just completed is known as a zigzag or switchback. And just like the spiral, it gets us up the hill quickly when the area is limited in size. Our first tunnel, and a reminder to keep those heads and arms in as we go through. Quickly follows. This is the narrowest of the tracks, so extra careful through here. Unique double-decker viaduct. As you can see, the steel uprights here come very close. We'll be crossing this viaduct 4 times on the journey this afternoon.
Switchback.
These bricks you see on the right-hand side here were made down at the pottery using our local terracotta clay. Terracotta means red earth. It refers to the fine colour of the clay. Just up ahead, the first of many bubble walls. And like the bricks, they're used to retain the clay mix. And yes, no doubt some of those bubbles have come from Ravington. Now you'll notice we're in another circular pattern again. This is the upper spiral, which brings us on top of the viaduct. Just coming into view on the far right is the Hauraki Gulf. You can see two islands there. The closer island is one of the many goat islands around New Zealand, and the flat one behind is Waiheke Island, beyond which is Auckland City. These beautiful flowering shrubs, yellow flowers, these are known as kuberaho, one of our natives. And this area is Hoki Mai, and it was the end of the line here back in 1991. It's currently the halfway point up to the tower. Now, as well as bricks and bottles, you can see old car tyres get recycled as well. A free resource, and makes a very solid retaining wall. When Barry was laying the track up the hill, he had very little money, and so would utilise a lot of material most of us would consider rubbish in order to achieve his goals. Even the rails themselves, second-hand. Up until 1820, that's when the British sailing ship HMS Coromandel sailed into our little harbour, giving the name Coromandel to our town and the peninsula as a whole. And the British were here because of the kauri trees. They wanted the young thin ones, which were going to be ideal for use as ship masts in the British Navy. And on that first voyage, HMS Coromandel took away 200 kauri logs for that purpose. Now, I'm aware most of you probably don't know about kauri trees. They are native to New Zealand and one of the giant trees of the world. And generally speaking, they grow very straight and tall. And the reason for that, they're a self-pruning tree. So as the tree grows, the lower limbs break off. And that has the added advantage of leaving very few knots in the wood. So it makes the wood fibre a lot stronger than comparable trees. Ideal for the stresses and strains of a ship's mast. Planted on this 60-acre property. That includes 9,000 kauri trees. Coromandel Harbour to our left. just a reminder, once the train comes to a stop, just mind those heads of yours as you're getting out that big long roof. Attention, la tête s'il vous plaît. Attends le terminal. Seek their fortunes, including those from California. Now, these large dead trees you see in the foreground, they're a legacy from that era when the gold miners from California, for some reason, brought with them Monterey pine seed and planted them here. And as you can see, they grow to large trees. They like the climate here. The problem is they spread quickly. And being an exotic species, Barry didn't want them on the property, so they'd be deliberately killed off. But over the years, Barry's made good use of the pine trees growing here as fuel for his pottery kilns. Agree with that sentiment. I certainly would have put a lot more space between them. Having said that though, it's not unusual in nature. As you might imagine, when the parent tree drops its cones, the young seedlings grow around the base of that parent tree. So they are used to competing with one another. And during that process, some will dominate, using seed for the future kauri forest. With regards the proximity to the rail, at some stage we will have to lift to accommodate the growing. Tunnel number 3 again, remember everything inside as we go through this process. You'll see all these beautiful tree ferns, a very common feature of New Zealand bush. We have well over 200 species of native fern in New Zealand, 10 varieties of tree fern, which are basically ferns on stalks, if you like. And perhaps the best known of the tree ferns is the silver fern, which refers to the silvery white colour under the frond. And it's not until that's tipped over that that colour is revealed. Now you saw the guy working up the hill clearing the bush from the side of the tracks. He's done so here. And if you look over the side, you'll see some silver fern in amongst that. Quite a bit of it. Very distinctive colour. Coming back onto the lower deck. deck of the viaduct. Remember heads and arms up please as we cross. Approaching tunnel number 2 again, remember, very narrow through here. Coming back onto the lower deck of the viaduct. Remember heads and arms up please as we cross. Approaching tunnel number 2 again, remember, very narrow through here. These bushes on my immediate left here, this is Manuka, the other type of tea tree. As you can see, it's just a miniature version of the taller Kanuka. It's an amazing species of plant, so many uses for it. Last tunnel, tunnel number 1 coming up. Most of the rail that we're riding on today, Barry, is sourced from around the Waikato region. Most of it has come from old coal mines, no longer used. And it's what's known as a narrow gauge. There's only 15 inches between the two rails.